traffickers that they don't fuck with, if that makes sense, right? So it's one of those things, it's kind of baked in the cake. What does that mean? The real quick abridged history, and again, I apologize to any Mexicans who will say you're getting this wrong, but historically, since the 30s, like 1930s, there has been the cartels, right? And the cartel is like a gang, right? So there's been cartels in Mexico, and that is, the first thing they were, involved in trafficking, right? Was alcohol. Right? I mean, obviously, when you go back to the 30s in the United States, there's a prohibition and all that type of stuff. But if you go back in Mexico, the first cartels was dealing with alcohol. Later on, it kind of trumps up to other stuff and eventually gets to marijuana. Also, it becomes like a intermediary place for cocaina, or that white, to get from South America to the United States. Okay, so there's a few cartels you should probably know, right? I think some of the first ones that I I'm familiar with is that there's the Gulf Cartel, and I'll just kind of Google some of these things. So the Gulf Cartel, one of the longest running cartel organizations. I believe they were operating, as you can see from here, it says from the 1930s. Okay, you have the Gulf Cartel. You have what else? I think I even wrote some of this shit down. Make sure I'm a little bit accurate on what the fuck I'm talking about. You got a Gulf Cartel, Tijuana Cartel. You have Sinaloa Cartel. That's where El Chapo is from. You have, what else? Jalisco. Okay, give me 1 second. Make sure I'm getting all this shit right. You have the Mencho Cartel. You have, it's a bunch of different cartels that's just basically different regions. Now, the idea here, and you don't have to get too much into it, is that the way how Mexico works, because it's a really impoverished place, is that drug traffickers get more power than the government officials that rule those places, because they could provide more resources. Okay, so they come up with this term, how niggas in the hood would say their block or their hood or whatever. They come up with La Plaza, right? So every poor place that's connected to a town basically becomes and turns into the hood for some cartel that becomes, very big, especially near that border of Mexico and the United States. Okay, let me just look at it. If you look at the map, right? Oh my God. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, chat. And again, I know some of y'all might be like, okay, I like to be a little bit in depth here. Okay, well, let me expand it. All right, bet. Cool. I got it. Can we do this? No. Can we do this? Yeah, I think so. Holy shit. It's like it wants me to buy a map. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I can't even pull up a map. All right, anyway. The point is, and you'll see, all of these, so right here is where the United States would be. The idea is drug traffickers are trying to get drugs into the United States. Okay, Mexico kind of becomes the most important place because it's the poorest neighbor we have, and it becomes the place that you could get drugs into relatively easy, and how they have to get in drugs into the United States is literally just cross the border. So that's how they have a bunch of people who basically become drug traffickers, right? Okay, cool. So you have a few historically, when we're talking about whether it's cocaine or we're talking about marijuana, we have the Gulf cartels that were popping back in the 80s. Who else? You have the Juarez cartel that was popping in the 70s. Now, if you guys, just to kind of, when did Pablo Escobar die? Okay. So before, when Colombia used to send a lot of drugs to the United States, you would have basically the Colombians wanting to use other people to assist in getting drugs into the United States. So they utilize people or groups like the Juarez cartel in Mexico to kind of get it into Mexico, and they could try to fly it over the borders. Supposedly, like, they would try to avoid detection of like radar. They would fly a super high plane. So the Juarez cartel used to do that. So that's like the 70s we're talking about. So the 70s, we're talking Juarez cartel. We're talking about the fucking Guadalajara cartel, and we're talking about the fucking Gulf cartel. Okay. What happens is, just like everything, when you're doing drug trafficking, you know what I mean? It's like an NFL running back. You're not going to be doing this shit for life. So a lot of times they took losses. You know what I mean? The government declared that they're doing war on drugs. And, there's a lot of interesting games being played. Now, what happens after that is what we know. Going into the 90s, we get this guy, El Chapo. Okay? El Chapo becomes the person who essentially kind of rises out of like a bunch of different cartels. And I think he was with another cartel that, he snaked somebody. It's a long story. And if you guys watch Narcos, you'll kind of get all of this. There's actually a Narco Mexico. You could kind of get all of this in like bite-sized portions. But basically, after the 90s, we get El Chapo, okay, who runs, and he basically branches off for some other niggas, and he runs what's called the Sinaloa cartel. Okay? Now, what happens then is the quintessential part of what I'm going to get to with this current news. Okay? And I know some of y'all might think I'm yapping, but I need to give this context. So the way how drug trafficking honestly works in Mexico, the politicians act like they don't fuck with these guys. Like if you ever watch Narcos, even in Colombia, you're like, how the fuck did Pablo Escobar blow up a fucking plane? After he blew up a plane, they gave the nigga like fucking, they made him make his own jail. Like, how could these guys do these things and then not get punished? Well, it becomes like this interesting handshake where to win an election in the United States, they basically just go get Jewish people to fund it, right? Like, I mean, I'm being a little jokey here, but they need people to fund your campaign in the United States. Well, in Mexico, when you're campaigning for power, usually the drug traffickers got the bread. They'll align themselves with politicians, not in an official way, but in a way to say, if we fund and help you win, which not only means giving money towards whatever you got going on, but whoever you going against, we might even kill them niggas. That's how it works in other countries. This ain't, you know what I mean? Like, imagine somebody say, yo, we fuck with Trump so much, if he going against Biden, we'll just clap that nigga. So that's how it works in Mexico. Now, here's the thing. It's like this interesting thing where, like, if you help some people get in power, they're not gonna, say fuck these niggas, but they can't stand with you either. Like, nah, let him sell his drugs. So even if you watch like Narcos, and there's actually there's a show, I believe it's on Netflix. It's called like Chapo, and you realize that there's politicians that he essentially helped get elected, and they have to play this really interesting game of, yo, Chapo, y'all niggas is killing too many people. Calm it down. We need peace. And then at times when they're about to get caught, be like, yo, we got to protect you. And then they might need fun. It's really like interesting. However, globally, no one could say they're down with drug traffickers, right? Like, these are politicians. But it's crooked as could be. So we get essentially El Chapo running shit from the 90s with the Sinaloa cartel. He comes up into a little bit of, when he starts to kind of like get caught, and he gets caught like 3 times and he escaped. There's another cartel that gets popped up. And if you guys watch Narcos Mexico, I think this is the second season of Narcos Mexico, is Tijuana cartel. And that's where this guy named, Ariano Felix, he kind of comes into the mix or whatever. Don't want to get too much into the weeds with that, but I want to kind of get to around 2005 to 2010. So after like 2005 to 2010, El Chapo, who, if you look at his net worth at his peak, they're saying that he was the 10th most richest man in Mexico. All right, hold on, let me see. Well, they were saying he's worth $1 billion. Okay. Now, I don't know what that is with inflation, but that's what they were saying his net worth was. Okay. So at a certain point, he gets locked up. He gets out of jail. He gets locked up again. He gets out of jail. And I think he even escapes like a third fucking time, right? And then he gets caught again. When that happens, it destabilizes the Sinaloa cartel. So, Sinaloa cartel. And honestly, when people think cartel, they literally just think El Chapo, right? But yeah. So, he gets, he's constantly being locked up. He's in jail. What happens from there is that, remember this idea of La Plaza, which means his cartel control an area. That area is where they sell their drugs. That's where they smuggle. And one thing about him compared to all of these other drug traffickers, he pioneered transferring drugs to the United States in the most unique way. Now, he's not the only one who did it, but he's the one who pioneered it. And it's through tunnels. So essentially they're like, hey, listen, hold on. So basically they looked at it like this, right? And I don't know. Map of Mexico. Let's look at a map of Mexico. Okay, cool. Here we go. I just want to show you some shit that makes sense. Okay. All right. So, Sinaloa's over here. Essentially what they did, they basically said, yo, we just need to get the drugs from Mexico to over here. They buy a bunch of properties by the border, and they fucking dig a bunch of tunnels. They go under this fucking line, and which is literally how they did it. And they deliver a bunch of drugs into San Diego or around here and over here, okay? Like basically all over here. So they dig a tunnel. Some of these tunnels are a couple miles long, but it's like houses that are in Mexico. They would go over here and whatever. Now, they're not only doing that, they're still trafficking drugs within their territory, which is Sinaloa. Okay. So that's how this guy kind of like, he kind of redefines like how they're fucking smuggling drugs. They kind of get him caught up. And when they get him caught up, his sons have to take over. So his sons, if your dad's a drug trafficker, you're a drug trafficker. It's Mexico. Like, you're not going to like, oh, I'm being a doctor. Like, fuck out of here. Like, you're a drug trafficker too. He has a bunch of sons. So when he gets locked up, they create something called Los Chapitos. And remember, he keeps getting locked up because he's seen as Mexico's most wanted drug dealer, right? So they create what's called Los Chapitos, right? This is probably good for me to look at it right here. It's like a little thingy. Here we go. Oh, my God. There's like a little... Okay, good. So, yeah. So, Los Chapitos, which is El Chapo's son. So, this is the dad. And, you got to imagine. Imagine if you're a drug trafficker and you only have daughters. Oh, my God. So, all the sons are drug traffickers, right? Okay. Some interesting shit happens, but this is kind of now, after 2005 to 2010, this is like 2010 on. I believe this nigga name is Oviedo. His name is El Raton or some shit like that. And I believe this one is, he's either a junior or something like that. We'll get more to him in 2 seconds. But essentially, these are his sons that take the Sinaloa cartel, which people thought was the most powerful cartel, at least globally. Globally recognized cartel from Mexico. They thought Sinaloa was the most powerful. So they create like a faction, Los Chapitos. Okay? Now, his sons, respectfully, his sons is like, respectfully. His sons, with the exception of this guy right here, like, respectfully. So this one right here, demon. He's, you ever look at a kid and be like, oh, you your daddy's son. That's him right here. The rest of these guys, they're Bronny James. Respectfully. I got to keep it a bean. Well, this nigga, Bronny James. Okay? Got to keep it a bean. Now, what does that mean? This guy takes the ruthlessness and the lawlessness from his father. He kind of uses their wealth and they continues with drug trafficking, and he builds up Los Chapitos to kind of mimic and be like the official arm of what his father was doing. Now, his father's locked up at that point. right? These niggas right here, like, yeah, they're kind of doing business stuff. They're all involved, but it's like, they ain't really about that life like that, okay? Okay. Now, what happens is because El Chapo gets out the way, it's basically like, you know, you ever watch Wire? It's like when Avon gets locked up. It's like, imagine if Avon's son, like, well, actually not even Avon's son. Remember when Stringer Bell was trying to run the spot? They're like, man, Stringer Bell is weak as fuck. So that's where you get a Marlo. So these are the Los Chapitos. I'm going to explain what happens to all of them in a second. But when they start getting popping, there now becomes a rival cartel who's down to squabble with them. The name of this cartel is, was it CNG? No, CJNG? Okay. And this is Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Okay? So keep in mind, most of the old cartel niggas, like El Chapo's old as shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, how old is El Chapo? Look, how old is El Chapo? He's 68. Now, around 2010, you know, obviously Instagram is now popping this and third. You start seeing mad videos and pictures of like, yo, cartel, like some of the cartel, like, you know, leaders, they would have Instagram. They would show their fucking gun that's made of all gold. They would show some shit with all diamond in it. They would show a op they killed. They would show a severed head. I don't know if you guys remember that. But the cartels would get on Instagram. Matter of fact, there was a cartel leader, or I don't know if it was, one of the leaders got caught because his girl posted and dropped the pin damn near saying they were at the beach. I don't know if y'all seen that one. Like his wife posted some shit. Let me see. Wife posted Instagram. Look, a drug kingpin arrested after the wife posted lavish vacation. But essentially, the new wave of cartels, they're not like real G's moving silence. They're like, yo, if we pack a op, you got to see that shit. I'm putting out on the gram. And also, we not hiding. Because here's the thing, what's the point of worth $1 billion and you got the baddest bitch if she not on, you know what I mean? She not showing that BBL, that sculpted abs, them fake ass titties on the fucking beach. So they start flexing now. Now, obviously, it doesn't work out too well because, again, his wife who posted that alerted authorities where they might be and they get caught, right? However, the point what I was trying to make is that there becomes this new age of like, you know, these like cartel leaders, what the fuck is this? Like these new cartel leaders, and this, you know, after El Chapo goes away, you get the Los Chapitos, which is his son, but you get you get Jalisco New Generation Cartel, and they begin to do something that's really like super unique. Now, they're not reinventing the wheel, but they're here to basically say, fuck what's been going on. We're the new kids in town, and we're down to get as ruthless as anybody want to get. If y'all niggas want to die, let's die. Y'all niggas want war, let's war. Now, the difference with them and like Los Chapitos is like, you know, it's like Bronny, right? Like, you think Bronny's gonna stay 15 hours in the gym? Like, nigga, like you live in like a $30 million house, your daddy's LeBron. Like, come on. Nah, man, yo, get me my chauffeur. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So, like, these guys ain't as ruthless as these other niggas from CGNJ. Now, this is where enters this guy that comes to like super infamy. The guy name is El Mencho. He is the leader. He's the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Now, ironically, he was born in the 60s. He's not that young. But new generation meaning they were operating in a new type of way as opposed to these historical cartels. Now, the lore about this guy is ruthless. This guy would operate pretty much with impunity. And he basically had police officers, he had government, and everybody shook to basically tell him, cut it out. He was on timing, so to speak. Okay? The damn near Mexican King Von of drug traffickers, really. Now, not that he's, well, I don't know what he did himself, but he was about all smoke. Now, over the years, there was audio like El Mencho threatening cops. Like, you know, at times, like, here we go. Like the police chief who got like a scary call from El Mencho.
In 2016, El Mencho, the notoriously violent leader of Jalisco's new generation cartel, was furious after law enforcement began arresting his men and shutting down several of his drug operations.
Remember, La Plaza means this, and by the way, this is not no secret. So all of the cartels, they have their plaza. And La Plaza is, that's where we do our thing. And if any ops come over here, that means they want to squabble. And it's war. So people, it's like territories. They respect it. Also, the cops, yes, they have to be cops, but they're familiar with who runs the territory, and they have to go about things a certain way. So when now you're in El Mencho's plaza, and you're like, nah, cut this out. Y'all done selling drugs. What do you mean we done selling drugs? You out of your fucking mind? All right, so they start locking up some of El Mencho's men. So El Mencho's like, these pussies must think that this shit's sweet. Now, keep in mind here, not only we're going to get into that El Mencho is a former cop, the way how it works is that a lot of the times the reason why these guys don't get caught, most of the police force is corrupt. So most of the police force, they're getting paid nickel and dime. They're getting paid like 50 cents a day to be a cop. Like, are you really going to like adhere to the law? Or if El Mencho's like, hey, bruv, we going to give you $300 a day. That's nothing for El Mencho. You're probably going to be like, yo, Mencho, yo, they claimed that, you know, remember y'all killed 3 niggas last night? They claimed about to raid that stash house. Get out of there. They go try to raid the stash house. Nothing is there. It's clean as a fucking whistle, right? So the cops act like they're doing their thing, but it's so much corruption, nothing really gets done. It's like the, oh, we can't find them type of thing. And, you know what I mean? It allows people to think that the cops are for them, but they're all getting paid off and they're all corrupt, right? So for whatever reason, they start arresting El Mencho's men. What? Hold up.
In response, El Mencho called his local police chief's phone and gave him a scary wake-up call.
Delta 1.
Hey, ¿quién habla?
Mira bien, hijo de tu madre. Soy Mencho, güey. Relaja tu gente a la... Soy Mencho, güey. Relaja tus partidas, si no te voy a partir tu madre, tienes toda tu bola de perros. Te tengo identificado 30 güeyes. Hasta tus perros te voy a matar si no te relajas, güey.
So he's talking to the cops, the head cop. Think I'll kill all y'all niggas if y'all keep playing with us. Like, don't forget that we run the shit down here. Now, also, here's the thing, too. Usually in these La Plazas, right, they're paying the cops to stand down. They're paying the cops to look the other way. They're paying the cops to tip them off. You know, like, obviously, if, like, some crazy stuff happened, and now people, because, you know, you always got to keep people calm. When people are like, no, we need some justice, they might say, oh, okay, we've locked up somebody, and they'll figure out who will be the fall guy or something like that. But as the most part, they're not declaring war on these cartels that's running these places, right?
Güey, ¿cómo ves?
Ya está, señor, ahorita los va.
¿Se me ponen a tiro o tú eres el primero que vas a marchar por ellos, León?
Señor, usted me conoce, usted sabe que yo soy capitán.
Uno no se mete con ustedes para que se pasen de...
No, señor, ahorita yo se las va.
Mire, revíremeles a todos.
So this is the local police chief who's literally being told, stop fucking with me unless I'm going to kill all of y'all and I'm going to kill y'all dogs too. Now he even admits, y'all take my money like a bunch of pigs. So he's admitting that the police is intrinsically corrupt because they're getting paid by the drug traffickers too. So this is why he's talking to them like that, like saying, y'all take my money and y'all fucking with us? Oh, you must think we pussies.
No, señor, ahorita yo se las va.
Mire, revíremeles a todos los hijos de su... Porque todos agarran dinero y son buenos de puercos. No quiero que me apagues este teléfono. Después te voy a marcar, güey. A ver si no se relajaron a la...
Sí, señor, usted me conoce. Usted sabe que hay respeto. Y eso...
In 2016,
Okay. Now, let me tell you how this kind of works. So, the local police are usually corrupt as shit, right? They're working with the drug guys. You know, if they realize something's going on, they'll act like they're on the other side of town. It's like this, oh, we can't find each other. They're getting paid off. There's some people that's kind of like, you know, they're good cops. They either put them out the way or eventually they get fucking killed or something, right? Like, if you think you're being too good of a cop in Mexico, yeah, all right, nigga. You okay? You think you about to stop the drug trade? You okay? So that's what kind of happens. Now, let me tell you how it boils up top. Okay, so the cops ain't doing nothing. Well, what about the mayor or whatever of the town? Well, here's the thing. For elections to go on peacefully, because they have violent elections. You know, it's funny when people like, you know, I love when people think that, you know, in America, we have the safest like elections in the world. Like, you could say you like Trump, someone else could say they like Biden or Kamala, and the most that will happen is like a little heated argument. Hey, fuck you. Maybe the worst, somebody throws a punch. In most countries, when you like someone else, it's like y'all are beefing. Niggas die over that shit. You know why? Because quality of life is directly dependent on who's in power. In most places, they even will facilitate gangs and whatever to terrorize their opponents' areas to make sure they could, you know, voter suppression and shit like that. So the politicians realize they themselves need funding that the drug traffickers might have. And what they do is, it works like this. Each drug trafficking organization for whatever region, they kind of pick their guy. What happens then? If your guy wins, you have the cops go keep bust the ops, and they ignore you. So basically, they turn kingmaker. So essentially, the cartel is kind of working with the cops, but not the cops. Working with a politician and people in politics, but not working with them, if you get what I mean, right? And the politicians, they kind of get like a thumbs up from you know, the constituents by saying, hey, we caught some drugs today. What drugs did they catch? The ops. They're not, you know, the guys who helped them get elected, they're not busting them. So it's just innately corrupt. How does it keep boiling up? Those politicians are local. Then we get to, like, you know, broader politicians, and it eventually gets to the president. And you kind of get to realize that because the whole system is corrupt, the president is in like this really interesting place because they have to answer to the world and not seem like they're corrupt, act like they're taking all this shit serious, but all while not have inner war and conflict in their own fucking country, right? So that's what happened with El Mencho and them. And this is how, I'm just trying to show you how El Mencho is rocking. He's stepping on shit, okay? Stepper, straight up. I'm going to tell you how much he's stepping on shit, because let's bring these guys back into the mix. Remember I told you about Los Chapitos. Remember they're El Chapo's sons. Well, I told you, other than this nigga, ain't really Bronny James. I'm going to give you the full update in a second. These two niggas right here, come on now, you can't be El Chapo's son. They get kidnapped. Straight up, kidnapped. El Mencho, she kidnaps El Chapo's sons. They kidnapped, in 2016, I believe, they kidnapped two of El Chapo's sons. Okay? Two of El Chapo's sons got kidnapped from a restaurant. They over here, yo, them niggas is eating chips and guac. Like, hold up, bro. Yo, you a drug trafficker. They eating chips and guac. It's wartime. Your daddy locked up, right? You supposedly, you see, that's what my man Pusha said. Your daddy a killer, but you not. You just like Ronnie James. They're eating chips and guac out like it's cool. I bet. Kidnap them niggas. So now you El Chapo sons, they get kidnapped, okay? Now, they get kidnapped, and here's the thing. They were in the ops territory. Didn't I say CJNG, right, is El Mencho's joint, but they run Jalisco. They go to a restaurant in Jalisco. What you think this is, nigga? Say less, nigga? You think this is Nobu, nigga? What you think this is, nigga? So they over there like, you know what I mean, like they think they having a chopped cheese, like, you know what I mean, the Aki way. Nah, nigga, come here. So they get kidnapped. Bad look. The daddy was a killer. Now you got the sons getting kidnapped, thrown into the trunk. You know what I mean? Like crazy. Now, that was really a show of power. There was negotiations had this and third. They released the sons unharmed after secret negotiations. So now, remember, El Chapo is on the run. He can't really pop out. He's like, is the Chapitos doing all the stuff? He gets caught. So El Chapo broke out. Remember, he broke out from that prison where he was taking a shower. Like, y'all remember that one video? El Chapo break out of prison. It was this shit right here. Where's it at? There's a surveillance camera of it. The nigga was on 24-hour surveillance, right? And literally just dipped.
And look, there's an electronic device on a bedside table.
Nigga got his phone. Yo, the nigga had an iPhone 19, bro. This is 2016, gang. But no, 2015. He had an iPhone 19 in prison. Look, gangster.
An electronic device on a
Gangster.
bedside table.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly an iPhone or iPad.
Come on, it's El Chapo, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck is you talking about? Like, yo, my boy got an iPad in jail, gang. Like, yo, Dirk just getting the Apple Watch? Yo, my boy had the whole shebang in jail. This is El Chapo. All right, so he got his shit. He was probably watching my videos on Chirac back in the day saying, damn, I wish I had a nigga to kind of like do this, you know what I mean, for us over here, you know what I mean? But he's calling.
Maybe how he communicated with the guys who broke him out.
Maybe how we communicated? Of course how we communicated. The nigga had a cell phone.
He sits on his bunk and removes the ankle monitor that's supposed to track his movements.
Got a little weak-ass ankle monitor. How you locked up in a cell with the ankle monitor? He ain't even cut it off. Just unbuckle that shit. Stole that shit, nigga. Get that shit out of here. I'm out of here, man. Nigga, I'm not staying locked up in here for too long. I'm out, man. Fuck that. I'm El Chapo, nigga.
Then he goes back to the shower, ducks down, and in the blink of an eye, he's gone.
I'm out of there. They dug his ass a tunnel, couple miles long. When he goes down the tunnel, there's a bike. Look, this is the tunnel they dug. Broke that nigga out of jail, man. Real nigga shit. Feel me? I want to show y'all the bike. So, yo, his shit was so lit. They're like, yo, we can't have El Chapo walk miles in the tunnel. They put that nigga on a bike, gang.
Look at the elaborate escape tunnel that's
Look,
almost a mile
this
long.
shit is vented, everything, man. I ain't gonna lie. One thing about Mexicans, man, they show could build.
Check out the modified motorcycle on rails that El Chapo used for a speedy getaway.
Yeah.
One other thing. Notice in the surveillance video, he has a full head of hair and a mustache. So those photos of him riding in a private plane and enjoying a beer released after his escape could very well be real.
Okay. So, essentially, the nigga just escapes. He out, right? But he's back on the run. Mexico looks crazy. Because here's the thing. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Mexico wants to not be seen like a third world country. Let me tell you how America treats a third world country. We just take they shit. Yo, Venezuela, shut the fuck up, nigga. We just kidnapped your president. Fuck out of here. Yo, we gonna pick your leader too. That's how America. Yo, I know we be like over there like talking about like Russia bad. Nigga, we worse. Real talk. Fuck all that. Venezuela, fuck y'all niggas, man. We don't care what y'all don't got no opinions. No more. We run shit. We kidnapped your president. New president time, nigga. Fuck that. That's how we give it up. That's facts. But here's the thing. We'll act like we fuck with you if you show us that you can handle your business. Venezuela was a shithole. So we like, all right, y'all can't do it? I bet. Bang, kick the door in. We got it. We got you. Mexico, no, we really ready to go do that. Like, we really on that with them. Mexico don't want us to just be in their business, so they acting like they're a quote-unquote sovereign country. So every time we tell them, like, yo, bitch-ass niggas, yo, why there's so much, shit coming over here, they'll be like, they try to come up with some excuses. So we don't completely violate them and dictate what goes on in their country. We kind of let them get it, right? This was a final straw for the El Chapo shit. That's why they got him out of there. They had to. El Chapo broke out of a Mexican prison like 3 times. How the fuck y'all can't keep this nigga in jail? You get what I'm saying? So, like, this was so embarrassing for Mexico because the whole time they've been telling the United States, hey, we know you have a warrant for him, but we're taking care of him here. We got him locked up. He won't, like, they would tell the U.S. because the U.S. said, we got an indictment for him. We want him. They said, well, how it works is that our law gets respected before your law. We get that you want him, but he has to serve his sentence here first, okay? And that was the thing. He broke out of jail like 3 times, gang. Like, you know what I mean? After that, the U.S. is like, man, y'all niggas playing. We got you. All right, bet. So, remember, he's on the run. He just broke out of jail. His sons is getting kidnapped. They're getting belt. They're getting belt. Straight up. Yo, El Mencho holding him like, belt. Catch that belt. 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 They're giving Los Chapitos belt right now. You feel me? All right. Also, El Mencho, he start really taking over more territory. By the way, let me just give you like the realistic thing. El Mencho reportedly, you're gonna see they're saying that, hey, listen, his gang or his cartel was getting a revenue of $8 billion from cocaine and $4 billion from methamphetamines. Essentially, what they're saying that they actually estimate that there was $20 billion in revenue coming in yearly from his group. Okay? So it's very, they're the big dogs. Yes, Sinaloa Cartel because of El Chapo. We hear about him. But El Mencho, that's the demon. Okay? He's down to clap. Like, he give Pablo Escobar energy. You know how Pablo Escobar was blowing up planes? Pablo Escobar like, all right, let's murder this nigga. Like, he don't give a fuck. He was on that type of time. And I gotta show you this video because you might be like, yeah, how they let this nigga get away with this shit? Well, not only was he popping it, he was showing he was down with it. Now, this is the old video. I gotta let you know. But he don't got a bunch of just like, you ever see like a video? I don't know if you ever seen a video where like it's like U.S. soldiers versus Afghanistan? Yo, brother, this is how the war in Afghanistan went, man. It's niggas in like ripped t-shirts, just running around with an AK-47 with 4 in the clip, my nigga. They don't got nothing going on. They broke his shit, my nigga. Ribs touching them niggas. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, like, to keep a real nigga, we could have sent, like, low-key, nigga, we could have really sent, like, bruv, I ain't gonna cap with you, like, we could have just sent, like, O-Block over there to take the whole Afghanistan. Like, Afghanistan ain't on shit, man. Like, they ain't on nothing. Broke as hell. They got oil beneath them. They don't even know what to do with it. Like, them niggas is stupid. So, really, we probably took over, like, Afghanistan, a place you take over in, like, 30 minutes. It's over. Pakistan, like, they're a little bit better, but like, yo, we slap shit out of them too. Facts. Them cartel niggas, they getting that guap. You feel me? Now, by the way, let me just correct some of the shit about this Middle East. There's certain groups that they was getting some money too. So they would get their planes, they would rob some, like they would do some shit. But like, man, when you were here and we fighting a war in Afghanistan, man, you ever see somebody, bro, they're not fighting no real soldiers, nigga. It's a bunch of bum ass niggas with like fucking Jesus sandals running out with like, like, man, a sniper killed that nigga from 3 miles away, man. Bam, out of here. Get that nigga out of here, man. Yo, Rondo number 9 go over there, boom, blow the whole Afghanistan. That shit's over, nigga. Chief Keef was down to blow up New Jersey. He could definitely blow up Afghanistan. What the fuck? Bro, them niggas got mountains and shit. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. Anyway, let's get back to like El Mencho, real nigga shit, right? El Mencho, they making billions a year. Bruv, they not only had drug dealers, foot soldiers, nigga, they had a paramilitary force themselves. Nigga, look how they was coming. Look at it. Yo. Hey, yo. No, I'm being a little bit jokey here, facetious, but I'm telling the truth. Afghanistan, it could take you 20 minutes to take it over. Real talk. My nigga, you realize after we left, they got basically overran in like 3 days. Afghanistan ain't on nothing. Yes, we had to stay there because if we didn't stay there, motherfuckers would take it over because they ain't all shit. It's like we took them, we start training them. Here's a gun, here's this, here's an anti-craft, and they all let the shit get taken over, nigga. Them niggas ain't on nothing. Straight up. Nigga, we gave them planes, trains, automobiles. Nigga, we gave them everything. Yo, here's our Glock. Yo, here's everything we got. Them niggas just let niggas take it. I'm not capping. Y'all niggas know it's true. 20 minutes, them niggas in Afghanistan ain't on nothing. So when people say, wow, we're over there, we weren't over there beating their ass. We were over there keeping law and order. And we were trying to train a force like, hey, this is how you protect yourself. Like, imagine training a nigga how to fight because he been getting bullied or getting taken over by terrorists. Yes, there's terrorists. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, they're terrorist organizations. We're trying to train our armed forces to eventually stand up to the terrorist organizations that want to come take them over. We stayed there for 10 years training the niggas, and as soon as we left, 3 days later, waste of time. Look. Yes, the Taliban swiftly took it over, immediately following U.S. We trained these niggas for 10 fucking years on how to fight the Taliban, and we're like, yo, we can't keep fighting. Imagine a nigga getting bullied, and we're like, yo, bro, we can't keep fighting for you, okay? We're going to teach you. We bring them to a dojo. You teach them for 10 fucking years how to fight. And the moment you said, all right, this is the last, you have graduated from the fighting, from the teaching, we're out. 3 days later, they get their ass kicked again. Lost fucking cause, man. I see why we say, yo, let's mind our fucking business, man. Do what y'all want over there. Just don't, if y'all send another nigga over here, we getting this whole area fucked up. Real talk. Look, as soon as foreign troops departed, the Taliban swept through the country, seizing the capital of Kabul in August. Look, it sounds like I'm joking because that's how I'm delivering the content. We left in August 2021. The Taliban took over 15 days later, the fucking capital. How the fuck we trained you for 10 years and in 2 weeks, your shit got taken over again? Lost cause, my nigga. Straight up. Waste men over there. Straight up. We wasted our money. The Taliban take over and all the shit we gifted them, the Taliban took. What? Yeah, get that shit out of here, man. Anyway, let's get back to El Mencho. El Mencho on that timing. So El Mencho, they getting the bread. They start getting paramilitary equipment, tanks. They got niggas looking like they're military. Look. You see, CJNG, the Jalisco Cartel, new generation. So the point of me showing this video is just kind of showing that, like, when we're not talking about a bunch of bum ass dudes in chancletas running out talking about Allahu Akbar and all that shit, man. Get out of here, nigga. Like, yo, that's why I think getting sniped from 300 yards, man. Like, we talking about in Mexico, they got niggas equipped like the armed forces. Nigga, this look like they're more equipped than probably the fucking military in goddamn the military in Mexico.
Pinche 20, a ver si muy verga te topas con nosotros. Ahí tengo desamarrados los perros, culero.
See? So like Afghanistan, yo, I could send O Block or 63rd. They'll take over the whole Afghanistan. Straight up. Straight up. When you see this type of shit, we're like, oh, hold on. Maybe. Yes, look.
Y así, voy a andar patrullando. Con tu puta madre.
Órale, vente, hijo de tu puta madre. Bríncale a la verga. Bríncale a toro, perro.
Hijo de tu puta madre. Vas a pegar toda la verga, culero.
Gente inocente, sí, eres bien verga.
Pinche 20, A ver si muy verga te topas con nosotros. Ahí tengo desamarrados los perros, culero. Y así voy a andar patrullando.
All right. So now we kind of realize how El Mencho rolling. El Mencho not playing games. He, especially El Chapo, who's the leader of the Sinaloa cartels, or Sinaloa cartel. Remember, these are his sons. These two niggas get kidnapped. You're like, yo, my son's out here getting kidnapped. That's bad work. That's nasty work, right? So I just want to give you the timeline until we're going to get to current day. So remember, there's other cartels still going on. Mexico's a big-ass place. But remember, because Sinaloa controls so much, that with El Chapo out the way, it's all on his sons. So Los Chapitos is popping. Now, let me give you quickly the lore real quick. These two niggas, Bronny James. Really, these three niggas, Bronny James. They ain't really like that. They not on that shit. This nigga, his name is Oviedo, bought that life. He is daddy's son, okay? He is daddy's son. How is he his daddy's son? He start rolling and he's moving like he's his daddy's son. There's a couple times politically, right, that it's now determined that he needs to be caught as a symbol of victory against crime and against drug trafficking. They try to arrest him, and even at one point they arrested him, but his gang, they slid faster than the niggas slid for Young Dolph in Memphis. They got the cops to release him like, oh my God, y'all doing too much. Take him back. Don't believe me? Let's look. So remember, I told you, two of these niggas get kidnapped. They ain't on shit. This other nigga, we're going to talk about in 2 seconds. This nigga right here, he on timing. Oviedo released by Mexican authorities following violence. Following mass violence. Hopefully, we could get a good video on it. Okay. All right, everything is showing this recent shit. Let me see if I can figure. It's going to be something from a long time ago. All right. Yeah, YouTube is only showing recent stuff. Oviedo Guzman. His name is El Raton, okay? So, everything. Okay, so here's the thing. So in 2013, Mexico is getting heavy pressure. Hey, remember, they don't want to act like they're Venezuela, which the U.S. would say, all right, step aside, you fucking clowns. We're going to go capture these bum-ass niggas. They got to act like they could handle their own country. So now the pressure's mounting and says, yo, bro, we have El Chapo on the ropes. El Chapo escaped, I believe, around this year. But they're saying, yo, we need something. Sinaloa cartel look like they run the whole fucking country. We need something like, remember, this is all like to keep people calm. So the government says, all right, fine. We're going to go get his son that is doing a lot of this stuff. Now, granted, here's the thing. His son probably been paying off the cops. I think they probably got tipped off or whatever. But regardless, they do a really unique Mexican capturing, mission, and they get him captured. So when they capture Oviedo Guzman, El Raton, his niggas, they start spinning. They're like, oh, what? It's war. So this is what happens. Look.
Battle to control the state of Sinaloa, Mexico. With burning buses in the streets and travel restrictions in place after the son of El Chapo, Ovidio Guzman, was arrested by the Mexican military in what they say was a joint operation.
Llevó a cabo la detención de Ovidio N.
Lo que está pasando.
Federal authorities say he was captured outside the state's capital, Culiacan, just after 6 a.m. He was traveling in a vehicle with other gunmen when detained and quickly flown to Mexico City. Cartel gunmen reacting all across the state. This morning, a video circulating on social media showed passengers on a plane at the Culiacan airport ducking for cover. Children scared after the sound of gunshots erupted.
Now, I think this might be his never mind. This might be his second capture because they did capture him eventually. We got to go back to Oviedo Guzman I think it's 2019. Was it 2019? I got to make sure my dates are right, chat. Yeah, it's 2019. So remember, that's the same year El Chapo also gets out. No, gets caught. So now they're trying to act like, released after being captured. Jesus Christ, can I find the video? Oh my, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the best thing.
Violence paralyzed the streets of a Mexican city yesterday.
So the other one y'all saw, all right, never mind, let me just play.
As security forces traded gunfire with heavily armed members of a drug cartel. The son of the notorious drug kingpin El Chapo was taken into custody, then let go. CBS News.
Gangster. They captured him, and there was so many niggas that died, they said, take that nigga back. Y'all got it. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
News correspondent Errol Barnett explains why.
It was a battle zone Thursday in the city of Culiacan, Mexico, the historic homeland to the violent Sinaloa drug cartel. Police confirmed they were patrolling a neighborhood when they were fired upon from a house. Once they fought back and entered that house, they captured and arrested Ovidio Guzman Lopez.
Okay, so it looks like in this operation that caught him, right? They're saying that this was a mistake. Like they didn't, it's not like they went to capture him. They're saying that they were doing a patrol, they get fired on, they're responding to the fire because they don't know what's going on. And eventually they corner this guy and they capture him. Now when news gets sent out, yo, you captured El Chapo's son, murder, violence, war, mayhem starts. And eventually they said, my bad, take the nigga back.
A key figure in the cartel after his father, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, began a life sentence in the U.S. back in July. Washington Post Mexico Bureau Chief Kevin Seif.
Once word gets out that El Chapo's son has been detained by the Mexican security forces,
exactly,
like all hell breaks loose.
Police appeared to be outgunned by drug cartel forces as civilians ran for safety. Cartel members setting vehicles on fire to block roads, preventing security forces from maneuvering as men with heavy machine guns opened fire.
I don't think we've really seen anything like this on this scale in Mexico, maybe ever. Mexico's own security forces don't have the ability to defeat a cartel with, all the gun power that...
Yo, yeah, y'all gotta see how the Mexican police look like Paul Blart. Like, real talk. Remember, you getting 50 cents a day. The Mexican police, this is how the Mexican police is coming. Real talk. The niggas who try to lock up El Mencho, this is them right here. Right there. That's the nigga who thought he was gonna get, no, not El Mencho, who thought he was gonna get El Raton. Okay? The guy who thought he was gonna get El Chapo's son. He ain't on shit. You feel me? This ain't the military. This is like some Dunkin' Donuts cops. Feel me?
The Mexican military has, the Mexican police.
To stem the violence, Mexican security officials
were you see this?
Forced to release Guzman.
It's just...
So they got forced to release the guy.
Such a remarkable embarrassment for the Mexican government. El Chapo's escape from prison probably would go at the top of that list, and this is probably just after that.
Now, Mexican authorities aren't the only ones who've been trying to apprehend...
Okay, now, the moment when the dude is caught, this is it right here. Yeah, this gotta make sure this is in... Okay. So this is when they actually caught him. Remember, they got fired on, so they called like some... But really, these niggas is Paul Blart. They ain't on shit. You gonna see El Chapo's son, Ovidio, El Raton. He walks out. You ever seen a nigga like cheesing in his mugshot like he got bail money? That's what happened. He walks out like, oh, y'all ain't know what y'all fucking did. Okay, y'all got me. All right, y'all all about finna die. Watch. Look. Here we go. Yeah, because he surrendered. And they said, Guzman, so that's El Raton, Ovidio Guzman, he's seen surrender to authorities who ask him to make a phone call. And, put it like this. If you got to arrest a nigga and beg him to call other niggas to stop killing y'all, I don't think you're arresting him, right? If you have to if you're arrested, look, Guzman is seen surrendering to authorities who ask him to make a phone call to a cartel associate to ask the fighters to stand down. Look. Okay. So now he walks out, and here he is.
Sal video. Hey. Salga. Vente. Hey, tranquilo, señor. Señora, hey, muéstrame las manos.
My nigga was just eating some tacos in the back. You feel me? A couple of enchiladas, a little burrito. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Ven, hermano. Enseña tus manos, hermano. Ven. Tranquilo, señor. Ven, Ovidio, venga, tranquilo. Salga aquí, venga. Tranquilo.
Yo, if you don't know Spanish, tranquilo means let's keep it calm, let's keep it cool. Listen, you know when a cop pull you over, your hands at 10 and 2, you like, yo, I'm about to reach for this. The cops seem more nervous of the nigga without the gun when they got the gun. You know why? Because they know he gonna be the reason you get clapped. But this is Ovidio Guzman right here.
Pase, por favor.
All right, take my phone, make sure my bitch don't get it. Like, this is a real nigga. Yeah, I'm gonna take my phone, let my bitch don't get it. I was texting a couple of hoes. Hold up, man. I'll turn myself over. Here we go.
Tranquilo, aquí, señor. Tranquilo. Listo. Ponle aquí tus manos. ¿Traes armas?
No, él no tiene nada que ver,
Yo, this is the calmest I've ever seen him. Yo, this nigga, they wanted this nigga. I think they had like $10 million up on him. Have you ever seen more calm cops? They're like, get down. We're going to shoot the fuck out of you. They're like, hey, let's calm down. Are you good? Like, yeah, let's try to make sure he's good.
Espérame. Señora, tranquilo.
¿Qué pasa?
They still don't got this nigga in cuffs. They just let him chill.
No pasa nada. Ya le estoy diciendo. Dile a tu gente que pare todo.
Just doing a search. Calm down.
Dile a tu gente que pare todo. Listo, ya. No va a pasar nada, tranquila, señora.
Yo, the craziest part about it, you see this woman right here? I guess she's maybe a mother or like some relative. Nigga, she grabs the gun to pull it down. Like, hold on, don't shoot nobody up over here. Yo, these cops, you know they ain't on shit. Look, right here. Look. She gonna just grab the gun. Look. Hell no. They're telling her, chill out.
No pasa nada. Pásale para acá. Ayúdenme. No se preocupe, señora. Ayúdenme. No somos delincuentes en la tranquilice.
Now, I know a little bit of Spanish. They're calming her down that nothing's gonna happen. They're not killing nobody. Just calm down, relax. Like, I'm gonna be honest. These are the nicest cops ever. This nigga's up right now. He's chilling. Look, the cops are scared the shit of him. Look at him. He's still ain't in cuffs. Look, they released the video. They blurred all the faces of the niggas. They're like, don't kill the niggas. Look, they give him a phone. Yo, take the phone. Take the phone. Please tell him stop killing the rest of our troops. They give him the phone. Oh, shit. Y'all seen that G-Wagon? You know me, I'm always popular. Wait, here we go. Ooh, you said G-Wagon? That's a G-Wagon right there. Ooh, Lee, okay. Okay, El Chapo. Well, Ovidio, El Ratón. What other car is this?
Mantengan ahí. Tranquila, ¿Cuánto tienes gente adentro?
Damn, they got a hand on the shoulder like, it's okay, brother.
No tengo, son mis hijas.
Diles que paren todo.
Ya.
No veo más. Ya no alcanzo a ver más. No, así. Pásame cinta, güey.
Okay. Oh, there's another Benz. This is the Benz. This is a G-Wagon. Oh, this shit's fire. All right, baby. So essentially, I think he called them. And I don't know what he told them, but I guess they know he was on a duress. They kept killing niggas. They released him. They said, fuck that. We ain't stopping until they release you. And essentially, they release his ass. Okay.
That must be close to foolproof. Attempted arrest.
Look,
and then
nigga, they were smoking niggas in cars.
Ended because of what they were thinking at all.
Right. And so
planning. What he thought.
All right, bet. So, homie, El Chapo breaks out of prison, escapes on a bike, Remember, he's the only real nigga from the Sinaloa cartel, right? Respectfully. He gets caught same year, 2019. But he gets released because they're killing too many people. So he gets back out. All right? Now, eventually what happens, and I'm going to get back to the El Mencho part of all this. Hold on. By the way, oh, yeah.
This new the gun security forces.
Okay. So eventually what happens is that they capture, about 3 years ago, I think in 2022, they capture Oviedo again. Oviedo Guzman captured again. Now, this time when he's captured in 2023, but he's captured in a raid that is associated with the U.S. So
Tonight,
it's the U.S. that kind of helped do
cartel.
it.
The cartel retaliation was so...
Okay.
Things that
So they retaliated, but he did not get released again. Okay, let me give you. I'm really giving you the whole thing up to speed. So let's go back to the thing of the Chapitos, right? So this nigga gets captured in 2019. His pops gets out in 2019. They release him because they're killing too many people. His pops is kind of in the winds. His pops gets no. My bad. My timeline's wrong. His pops actually gets, I believe, convicted. When did Chapo get extradited? My bad. I think my timeline's wrong. Sorry. Never mind. So his dad already got extradited. Yeah, my bad. I apologize for that. When was the last escape by El Chapo? The last, I think it was 2015. Okay, so 2015, okay, I'm sorry. So 2015 is when it happened. And I believe 2019 he pled guilty. El Chapo 2019, guilty. I think he pled guilty, right? Oh, no, they found him guilty in 2019. Okay, cool. So they try to capture the son. The son, his men kill a bunch of people. They let him go. Remember the three brothers. These two got kidnapped already by El Mencho. This brother, his name is Joaquim Guzman Lopez, okay? In reality, he's just not like that. The long story short that kind of merges with everything is that this guy right here is realizing, and he's a bit smart. He realizes the writing's on the wall. Now, this is very important for me to tell you what's happening with El Mencho. I promise you. I know you might think I'm yapping. So about 2 years ago, this guy takes a plane from Mexico. Okay, actually, what happened to these two niggas? Let me see what the fuck they got going on. What happened to these two dudes? Because I want a complete story. El Chapo's sons. Okay, Oviedo we know, and then we have Jesus, and is it Cesar? Who got kidnapped? It was Jesus and the other one. Who was it? Jesus. Okay, hold on. Jesus been freed. Okay, all right, cool. Whatever happened to him? Jesus. I don't think he died. El Chapo. Oh, what the fuck? Did he get locked up in the United States? Oh, he was included. All right, what happened to him? Hold on. Oh, okay. He was included. But where is he at? He was kidnapped. Is he free? He was captured by the police in 2016. Oh, so they were captured. Ah, okay. So these two niggas who wasn't like that, they got captured anyway. So Jesus and Ivan. Ivan captured El Chapo. So they got captured by the U.S., right? So I just want to make sure, yeah. El Chapo, all right. They got captured. I felt the kidnapping. Yeah, Ivan. Let's make sure. Okay. So yeah. Where's the? Okay, so they basically get arrested. Long story short, so these two niggas, they get arrested. So the Los Chapitos, the demon, got arrested by Mexico authorities. He got let out. Then the U.S. goes in 3 years ago and captures him with Mexican authorities, and he get brought to the United States. So he's done. Daddy's done. Demon's done. Bronny James, this is the trio of Bronny James. None of them like that because they got kidnapped. They also are over here. They're in prison. And then this guy, he's an interesting one, okay? Now this guy, his name is Joaquin Guzman Lopez, right? Which, by the way, he shares his father's name except the last name, right? Now, let me show you what happened to him, and it will make everything make sense for y'all.
So NBA Youngboy has 12 kids, and he has 2 more on the way. I ain't gonna lie, gang. YB, he's making his own team. You feel me? 12 kids, probably like 10 BMs, 11 BMs. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, Malu Trevejo said that she was pregnant at one point. Another girl said that she was pregnant. Like, YB is disciplining a baby and all these women, bro. And I will never forget the interview. He said that he doesn't really care about being a father. He just likes to, you feel me? Yeah. But let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Do you think NBA Youngboy will pass 20 kids by the end of 2025? Or will he do it in 2026? Because we know he's about to have like 4 or 5 kids a year minimum. So we will see.